Welcome to Channel AMEC, your insight to the Australian visa system. Good day everyone, my name is Carl Young, your online YouTube visa consultant. Now in today's video, I would like to share a bit more in regards to current COVID-19 situation which has impacted the whole world, and outbreak is actually putting a pause and a stop button to the entire world economy. Now how would that actually affect to the visa and the potential migration pathway in Australia? Now that's what we're going to talk about today. Now to start with, I would like to share with you some news which I have recently received, and I would like to go into the current situation and what's happening, and how would the economy actually impact countries, and then furthermore impact the whole policies. And we would like to discuss all that and how you could capitalize with the opportunities to actually get yourself prepared in order for the next wave of the immigration of Australia. So now first thing, let's have a look. It's an interesting topic that I never knew USA that the people are playing rugby, but I do notice now because I've just received this news that USA Rugby is filing for bankruptcy. Well, obviously due to the coronavirus take over the game, and well, due to the social distancing, and also the a lot of effect that a lot of companies are going down. So make sure that you in the next 3 months to 6 month period of time, you got enough stock, enough cash to survive, and whatever the government is providing for whatever the benefit or grant, make sure you are out there to get it as well, because this is not a short-term situation. Even if the virus, we have developed the vaccine, everything's done, but the next coming up wave of the tsunami will be a huge economic impact and financial impact. Even there has been a lot of news article talking about financial depressions, recessions, things coming up. So make sure that you have everything that prepared for yourself. So the next news is that I've recently obtained. This is all coming from USA, but similarly in every countries it will be the same. So Sanchez Energy, which is I believe it's on OTC market, it's not doing well, so the lenders reaching takeover deal. So again, it shows that even a company large enough as a energy company could even suffer with this kind of situation, which is unprecedented, because in our histories we have never seen a impact of such a virus to actually taking over, especially nowadays. If we compare to the early 20th centuries with the flu in Spain, it's totally different, because nowadays the whole world is connected so closely, and all the productions and the merchant commerce and everything's all connected. Internet, for instance, and we are all suffering in this situation. So in short term, obviously, social distancing, you cannot go out, there's no way to go party anymore, no more events being held. Even the Tokyo Olympics already being postponed and cancelled for this year and postponed to next year. So that's the short term impact, but the medium and long-term impact, which is going to come up at least for the next year to 3 years, will be the economic and financial impact. So embrace for this impact. I don't think it's going to be a short term. It will be a very, very hard crash, like a plane hard crash. Now next news is about the Cirque du Soleil. Obviously a lot of people have seen this news. I'm not going to let it play because obviously they are having explore options to file bankruptcy as well. Obviously with the restriction of social distancing, you can't even attend, and there has been more than 4,600 employees losing their job worldwide, and well, just look at what's happening in USA last week. There has been more than 3 million people looking for jobs, and they are jobless. In Australia, same thing. I think that they are expecting possibly about 200,000, but we don't know yet. All the government now is all preparing all the plans, financial plan, to help the citizens at this point in time, and see if we can buy some time so that we can get that vaccinations in place on time to save the whole world. But we don't know how long this will go anyway. So now, how would this actually impact Australian visa and the immigration policy? So from the studies, my experience, during the 1998 financial crisis, and also 2008 financial crisis, triggered by the Lehman Brothers, we can see the trend that after the crisis, within the 2 years of time, Australian immigration actually reached to a new height. And so what I'm trying to say is, obviously, we are experiencing a crisis at the moment, but if we can get ourselves prepared, obviously you need to be fit and healthy and get through these crises. So make sure you stay home, okay? And once you get through this crisis, get yourself prepared. And 2 things I think I would really recommend you to do, or actually 3 things. One is, obviously, get your English up. You can do your self-study. There's a lot of online courses, and obviously in my video contents, if you go to description box, you can find some online training on your English proficiency. You can try those ones. And secondly, if you're already in the workforce, have some work experiences, get your skill assessment done during this time. You can't go anywhere, and you see what I mean. And the other thing is, obviously, there has been a lot of online courses provided nowadays from Australian institutions, choosing from university to diplomas, whatever you can do, you can try those online courses. At least you're not wasting time waiting. Okay, so once we know all this, within the next 2 years, obviously we're aiming for that height to come up. So it's actually a very, very good timing at this point in time to actually get yourself enrolled and possibly go study abroad, to gain those visas and the graduate temporary working visas, and then to add those points in. So once we hit that 2 years, estimating of 2023 possibly, or 22, I think it will be the policy there will be very, very advantageous to all the potential migrant who are interested to go to Australia. Now, I would like to take a couple other news have a look, because there has been a lot of people asking me about how to invest, because at the moment Australian dollar is very low at the moment. Should I invest this, invest that? But obviously I'm not a financial advisor, but I would like to take this opportunity to give you some hints. Maybe you need to rethink what you're required to do. So the first thing I want to take you to have a look is the stock indices for Qantas. Look at that, it's very, very low. Obviously there's a lot of airlines. They could possibly head into bankruptcy if the traveling facility and the tourism industry is not revived by May, and which is, very, very possible happening. And if we go to American, American Air, okay, let's have a look. Their stock index is $12.48, very, very low. And I want to take you have a look at this. A lot of people know that a lot of colleges and diplomas and university has gone online, and a lot of these institutions are actually using a software called Zoom. Now, Zoom video communication, look at that. Currently, it's at the $158.88. Now, that's if we want to add all the stock indices of all the airline together, you're probably not even meeting this 150 mark. But the reason I want to show you this is we really need to rethink, because if you want to do investments within this year or next, or whatever that you're trying to look for, if you think about that, the airline will include a lot of airplanes. Obviously, the airplanes themselves could cost and should have a value more than a software like Zoom. And how could they be valued lower on the stock market than a software like Zoom? And should Zoom technology or communication technology be actually be valued higher than an airline or in the transportation companies? I think that's a very, very big question mark for everybody. But anyway, my today's message is that if you're really interested about going abroad to Australia and possibly migrate, I think the coming up 3 to 6 months is a very good timing for you to make a decision. Because if you plan ahead and you go study abroad in Australia, remember, at least you need to take a 24 months of the studies in Australia in order to gain all the points. So 2 years later, 2022 or 2023, you may be very, very beneficial towards gaining Australian residency there. Anyway, that's for my video today. Should you have other questions, more than welcome to leave a comment down below. And should you consider to subscribe to our channel, and make sure you get that bell clicked on, so once we get all the new updates, you will get all the updates straight away. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.